Hi everyone and welcome to today's stream. It's a lovely sunny day still outside and I'm inside right now. And I'm going to be working on this Copic drawing. So I just found a rubber foot from something and I'm wondering what. Rubber feet, they pop up everywhere. Have game later of who owns rubber feet. Right, so as you can see, the progress so far, I've got the undercoat of the sky done and the undercoat's all around the whole drawing. Now, I've still got quite a way to go, as you can see by the photo. But right now I'm feeling in a much more comfortable place. I've still got to add in some of the detail for the boat back here, but what I thought I'd do tonight is just start to colour dot a couple of areas. Now tonight I'm going to just literally bounce around the whole page. So here, there, everywhere that I can see that I can put something, I'm going to put it. Colour match wise, I am pretty happy with the colours that I've got. They aren't going to be 100% match, but then this photo isn't 100% what I can see on my screen, and my screen isn't 100% what I can see on my camera. So it's near enough to be realistic, and that's what I'm after. So where to begin? Okay. So far I'm using, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. I'm probably got around me about 50 Copics right now, all of different colours, and I haven't even gone on to the oranges, the reds, the peaches, or really any of those, the browns I haven't really touched. So I'm probably going to be looking at using over 70 to 100 different colours in this image alone. So it's quite a lot of colour going to be going on there, but that's why I'm layering it down to get the colours that I'm actually looking for. So I think I'm going to play around up here. So I need browns. Or do I? Right. So I'm just going to do this little roof up here. So my light source today is from a daylight lamp, which means I'm getting a lot of heat off of the lamp. It's, I think, just a generic one that I got as cheap as possible. So that amount of heat that's going to be coming down onto this drawing, even though it's a good 30-40 centimetres away, it's going to affect my drying times. So I've just got to be a little bit aware of that. And the pigeons are having a fight on the lawn again. Those guys actually stopped fighting for 5 minutes. Oh, E31's dried up. Right, that needs to go on a pile for refills. If I haven't got E31, what else I got? Let's go E21. I'd rather go slightly lighter and build up the layers if I've run out of a particular colour than go darker. And this building is like slate colour. For a lot of this drawing I don't have the backgrounds mapped out at all, so I'm literally just working on this by eye, which is why I've been a little bit hesitant in picking up a lot of the detail and such. Just going to move the drawing across. Now, a lot of Dorset did get bombed out during the Second and First World Wars because of the ports and the massive harbours, the Chesil and such. So a lot of the original buildings are gone. which means there's quite an eclectic mix of different architecture, which is great fun. I mean, where they used to have this Tudor mansion, and there's a couple of like sketches of it in the library that you can find. It looked absolutely amazing, but they tore it down and stuck the most horrendous concrete building on there. And now, of course, that's got concrete rot, so that's got to be either pulled down or messed about with to get that back. That's the Bruce Quay Tower. That building used to have a show horse stable on the side. I miss the horses. So with these pens, I'm literally just putting a tiny bit on, barely any pressure. So I'm going to start trying to map in that light boat. The lifeboats give me a little bit of grief because it's big, but a lot of it was in shadow. I mean, it's a nice modern machine. Starting off a couple of those rooms. Now, because of the way the light's going, it's making some of the areas look quite purple. A lot of the houses have got colour. We like Balamory. You've got a pink house, a purple house, a blue house. So it literally goes white, brown, blue, dark blue, pink, brown, purple, cream, brown, red, white, 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 red, purple, white, 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 red, I think. So this is E71, which it's becoming a go-to pen. It's one of those nice and natural earthy tones. Let's see, that bit goes up there, that bit goes up there. Yeah, a lot of these houses around the harbour, they're all rentals for dream cottages. So they're quite packed in there. It doesn't help us that they're nearly all the same colours. Right, so I need a shadow colour for that. E74 is tempting. I'm probably going to use a warm grey. Like I said, I've got pens absolutely everywhere right now. And the only place they haven't quite reached, where they're trying to get there, is the floor. So, yeah, W7 I'm thinking. It's a really nice grey, and because it's a warm tone it'll go with the browns really nicely. One of my kind of little dream things is that one day I might get a qualification with Copics, because I just taught myself to use them and what to do with them, but it'd just be nice to have a little qualification or something with them. And you can do courses with them and learn the fundamentals and such, but because I'm always at work, I never quite get the chance. So just adding in little blocks of detail for the roof. This is that part where it's really important to pay attention to the original drawing and the original image that you're going by, if you're going by an image. I'll come through with the white Posco and just tidy up any bits that I'm not happy with. Right now I'm literally just blocking in areas of colour. So I don't want the background to be too bright and too vivid, so it's going to be really important for me to make sure that that's just blocked out and really soft. At least that's the plan. But you'll notice the Copics aren't bleeding all over the place. They're not being a bleeding pain. They just, once you've got your base layer down, they don't seem to want to bleed any further. And this Bristol wallpaper is something I find it very forgiving, Copics. I think that's why I love it so much. That's the chimneys. Actually, I had bits come out really soft. That's cool. I don't really, in all honesty, want to add too much red or oranges, especially brights to this. So I'm going to be building up the colours with the earth tones and beiges. I'm very muted oranges and reds. Need a brick colour. I mean, I do like the EO8. Ooh. That's a really nice one for bright brickwork and such, but it will need balancing out with other colours. And in the background, it's literally just going to be tiny spots of colour. They've got a yellow door if I remember correctly. If you keep on going that way, you end up at a it was a Tudor fort that was converted during the wars, and it's got a nuclear bunker in it. So I know where I'm heading if things kick off. I think there's a little bit of a flag there, so I'll just map that in. See that actually goes lower than that. Okay. And next time I put a bit more of the drawing in. I quite like working loose. I don't want to rely on the underdrawing. I want to be able to actually see what I'm physically doing. Where's that green? Just going to add in a little bit of foliage. I'm going to be using the same greens that I've incorporated into the sea, because I want that colour all the way through the drawings, or drawing. And tonight there won't be any distractions, any bangs, crashes, or anything, because everyone's popped out. I've got some me time. It's all about me. And for this foliage, because it's quite open, I'm going to be just spotting on bits. That's up by the car park at the back. Hopefully the cats will behave tonight. Won't get any meowing or yowing. So for the further away bits, I'm literally just putting spots and little dots. The thing about where I am in Dorset, once you get literally down the road, the view you have is of the whole valley, and it is just a town surrounded by fields. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you go up and over the hills, the views, especially really early in the morning when there's still like a ground mist, it's just stunning, and you can see the cattle walking through, and oh, it's beautiful. And when I draw, I try and make sure that I am transferring some of that passion about how I feel of the area into the drawing. It's like when you do a pet portrait, you can get the expression and the character of the animal into the portrait. If you get to meet the animal, it's even better, because you can really see the emotion and the drive, and that way you can get that onto paper through doing more expressions, and it just happens. It's the weirdest thing, but it does happen. And when I'm doing these harbourscapes, I feel that passion still there. So as I describe things like the rolling hills and beautiful surroundings, that's what inspires me to have a go at drawing this sort of thing. I'm not somebody who naturally goes for landscape. In fact, these are about the only two times, the two Harbourscapes that I've done, the only two times I've tried to draw landscape and views. Up until now, it's all been pet portraits, wildlife art, that sort of thing. But after a while, when you wake up and you're just surrounded by green hills and all that, you just suddenly think, I want to get that down on paper. Even if it does mean a 7 o'clock in the morning hike down to the town. You go at 7 in the morning, yes, you just stay clear of the areas where the drunks are, because they're normally huddled up along the beachfront in these shelters. But you can go along the harbour front and watch the first lots of boats going out for the day. In some cases, some are even coming in from a night fishing. But the atmosphere is very nice, and on this side of the harbour there's an old-fashioned fish market that's still running. So I'm yet to go there when the fish market is actually on. I really should. But I don't know if I can stand the smell. I does not like the smell of fish. Oh, too fishy. So just using tiny dots and dashes just to indicate the texture of the trees, and then I've just got to go in and push the tonal values to give the trees that little bit of shadow that they need. One of my latest places that I've discovered is a place called Thorncombe Woods, and Thomas Hardy, the poet's house, well, one of the houses he lived in, is located in the middle of the woods, and there's commons, moors, woodland, wild ponies, you know, the kind of perfect stuff. So hoping to visit there again. I've been there once. First time I actually saw a polecat. Okay, it was squished in the road, but it was still my first ever polecat. So hoping to go there again. They've got a lovely little visitor centre there. You have to pay to go into the house, of course, but the woods and stuff, you can just wander around. There's pools, natural forming pools, sculptures. There's another lovely place that I've discovered, and it's not too far away because it all joins on to a lot of the areas. So in theory, from Thorncombe Woods you can walk through Puddletown Forest to Puddletown, and then you can go via one of the trails and get to Dorchester. So it's all kind of interconnected. Okay, need a little bit of a shadow up here. This is probably not the most thrilling video to watch, but you might see something that I'm doing that suddenly think, oh, I haven't tried that. That's kind of why I'm doing it, just to see if anything that I do can help people. I mean, I want to inspire people out there. You ought to go and get a pen, a pencil, it doesn't matter what, and to have a go at drawing and find the enjoyment that I have within it. I mean, we all have our different enjoyments in drawing. A lot of people like fan arts, a lot of people like realism. There's landscapes, seascapes. Pets, wildlife, people, anatomy, cars, engineering, boats. Tell you what, we got tons of boats down here. They were actually 5 deep at one point today. That was quite hilarious. So we always play kind of guess how much money is sat in the harbour. Because a lot of these boats, the ones further in, won't move all season. In fact, they won't move all year. But people go and have parties on them. So it's more of a kind of social stage thing. No actual functional use. There we go. I'm just going to soften that right down again. Should I use G00? Maybe stick with G20. As you can see, just by getting these layers up, it's softening up those marks. And then if I want to push the shadows and stuff, I can later. That will dry down differently. So that's nearly my edge, the kind of final edge bit. Now I do know I made a little bit of a mess in this area. I'm probably going to have to do that last because I just need to make sure I've got certain bits in the right places. So I'm going to start off with some light greys, I reckon. I don't want to go in straight with the really powerful colours because I mess up. And it's easier to it's easier to erase, let's go English, right? Lighter marks than it is darker marks. I just love the fact that I can still see my pencil lines. So handy. I'm going to cover up a little bit of the drawing. I just want to pick out a couple of bits. In fact, just lower the camera a little bit. Probably won't help much. Because of the angle, I've been slightly struggling with this line. I know I've got the path right, but there's just something not quite right there. And I hope to have that fixed soon. I can put some grey in there. Right, let's see. House. Flat, house, there's another one there, then line, and some of the detail I actually physically can't see, it's so teeny weeny. So it's going to be a case of just blocking random colours in. This is lifeboat. I don't know why, for some reason, I can't get the shape of it right. That one from there is where it ends. And that's the pink house there. And there's a blue house wedged in there. It'd be nice in a sense, what I suppose what I should have done was taken the masks out on Photoshop or something and then tried to draw it without the masks and then added the masks in a later date. I should be able to do this. It's just about focusing. Let's put the blue house in. Technically there's two blue houses here, but they're different shades. I can sort out the windows in a bit. Well, I need the purple blue. That blue needs a little bit of that kind of greyish blue in there, which is BG72. I'm so going to redo a kingfisher drawing with these colours. Because when I did my kingfisher drawing, I didn't actually have the right colours to do it in. I just mixed and matched until I got the results that I was after. But this is one of the colours that does the petrol colour on kingfisher. I so need time to actually have some me time drawing. Cup of tea time? Yum. I put Manuka honey in my tea today. Just needed a boost. Right, try and sort this little bit here out. So what I've done is I've played around with a different area, then I've come back and with fresh eyes I'm re-looking at an area and I can now see where I need to go. It's really a good idea to take a break from each area that you work on, and then you will just find that you'll be able to focus much better on each one. So I made a slight mistake there, so now I can see it, I can sort it. Right. Chisel end. Push, push, push. Wait for a few seconds. And push, push, push. And wait for a few more seconds. It's not pure white, this bit, so I don't have to go back too far. but just enough to make a difference. I'm just letting it dry and reapply. So there's a building here, and also, how can I describe it? There's like a, that's a military jet going over. Where's that going? Sorry. When military jets going over, sometimes it's worth poking your head out the window. We do get a few coming over and on occasion they're on manoeuvres, but 90% of the time they're actually working. I think the last one was a few months ago where they were escorting another country's much bigger, much more powerful bomb carrying plane out of the UK airspace. It was all very professionally done, but it kind of puts you on edge suddenly when you hear them. I was like, uh-oh, who's upsetting this time? I think the most military aircraft I've seen literally flying over the house has been 4 all together in formation and zooming over. It is quite a scary sound when they're coming in low. I mean, the red arrows make it sound nice, but when you've got fighter jets actually in action going over your house, it's a different story. The sound feels, and the feel, the air actually feels different around them. And since it's not Thursday, it's not training day. On Thursday we have a lot of aircraft training. So we get the Sea Kings and all sorts coming in to do practice, as we have a little helicopter base near here. So you get Sea Kings having a bit of fun. And they take a load of equipment out into the harbour, and then you get to go along and watch all the rescue work going on. Where's that? There's a window just here, which is irritating me. Got it. Yeah, apologies about my hands getting in the way. It's very difficult to show you from this angle, and I don't work on easels. I just find it too painful on my wrists. And come in and pull the detail up around there in a minute. I'm adding a little bit of beige here just to replicate the lichen and the moss and the other stuff that grows on these roofs. There's a building just here, but it's in so much shadow, it's almost like a bluish colour. step back, recess. If I was doing like creature design, this would be a lot quicker process. But because I want a certain level of photorealism in this image, that's why it's kind of taking a lot longer. In a sense, I want this to be almost a commercial image. And some of my images can be bought in the local area. I am in a shop. I was in about 3 of them, but things change. But I've still never forgiven that shop where I had a bit of an issue. Just add some of that purple into that roof. Make sure that's carried through. So basically, I went into a shop and they reckon they were like a gallery collection shop place. And there's a lot of them around here. And very politely I inquired. And the woman wanted to see my work, so that's cool. And she was very, very rude. And one of the first things she wanted to know was what my qualifications are. So my response was, none, I'm self-taught. Pretty much that was the end of the conversation. She was rude and, well, I've not been back since. It's partly the reason I'm actually doing a degree right now. Because then I can happily go and, if I pass, I can happily go and wave it under their nose. But it shouldn't matter if I've got a qualification or not. If I can produce a decent piece of artwork, then surely that's all that matters. But there are some people in this world who are very fickle. The first part of that word being very apt. And, I've been kind of rejected from a lot of places because I've done more wildlife art and seascapes and landscapes and things that the area almost thrives on. And a lot of the shops around the harbour sides and all over the place all sell pretty much the exact same goods. So you get the little knickknacks, key rings, and it's a bit samey in all honesty. So for me to go into a shop offering photorealistic drawings of horses and things like that, it just did not go. So what I thought was, well, if I do some landscapes and seascapes, then they might take them, and then later on they might say, oh, actually, yes, we will take a couple of the other images. And that would be a major help. I mean, just because you live near the seaside, I don't see you're going to buy just stuff to do with the seaside. And with modern technology, seriously guys, who's going to really go and buy a postcard of the seaside when you can hold your camera up, click, click, and email? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to name but a few. So I get the feeling they need a little bit of modern thinking and to get everybody out of the rut that they seem to be in. It's such a shame because there's some amazing business people down here, I tell you. I mean, my favourite bakery. He's, when we came down, he was in this tiny little shop. More like a broom cupboard kind of place. And using all of his grandfather and plus recipes to make all the cakes, traditional lardy cakes that were literally that big, lardy cakes. Could eat, I could just about manage one, but it took me a whole day to get through one. That's probably why I put on so much weight. And his Belgian buns, the size of dinner plates. And because he uses all traditional recipes, he's very, very, very popular. And he took a risk and bought us a much bigger shop, and it is huge. He had it completely fitted. So now he has two businesses. He bakes and uses his original building as his bakery, and then runs it all up the road in huge trays to sell at the shop. And it's absolutely amazing. He's really gone for it, and I think he's done an amazing job. It's Belle's the Baker, I think. A big pink shop. You can't miss it. Lovely. But yeah, the larder cakes are to die for. Not for vegetarians though, please note, because they're traditionally made so they have lard folded into them. And you can taste the lard. But yeah, his Belgian buns, he does flapjacks. He's been doing pies lately, sausage rolls, pies. As far as I'm aware, none of it is being bought in. He stays up pretty much all night. In the morning, sometimes you'll see the bakery door open and you can kind of get a peep in there and see what's on the trays. And even though the shop doesn't like open till a little bit later, if the door's open and you just pop in and you've got the right money, they'll swap stuff over. So lovely team as well, really friendly. I'm glad I've had dinner too, because I could really go for one of those cakes. His apple pies are like that size, but they're proper puff pastry, and when you lift up the top, it's solid apple. I'm here to next week. You can just pop round to Marks and Spencer's around the corner and get a pot of extra thick cream or ready-made custard. I mean, the town is changing. A lot of the shops are closed, the original shops. We used to have alchemy, Gothic, so some beautiful, beautiful Gothic bits. That sadly went, which was a bit of a pity because I used to love shopping in alchemies. And there's a Greggs now, which competes with a Cornish pasty shop on the same road. And a lot of the little cafe places, they've now got to compete with Starbucks, Costa, and there was another one as well. So the town is changing. Some parts are good, some parts are bad. But they gotta get it. I'm still trying to get a Ryman's down here because I so need a stationery supply. I need a grey as well. Grey. Not too dark, not too light. T2. Tell you what, let's bring this up. There's my mic. That gives you an overall view, hopefully. So I can see areas where I need to soften up a lot of the shadows, but I can do that at any point now. So I'm going to try and get this pesky wall in. Let's try and flatten the paper. I printed this onto some like really cheap printer paper. Probably not the best choice. Now I've extended a bit of the line out here. Right. Oh, that's my stomach if you heard that. That goes up like that. That's why I love Copics. You can do detail, and you can get blocks of colour in really quickly. At this point I literally have no idea what I'm doing, which is great. What do you reckon about that? And when you take a line in, because depending on your paper will depend on how much bleed you get through, but if you want to leave gaps you can go so close, it's lovely. I reckon that's the edge. Right, we're gonna go for it. Don't know where this is gonna go, but we're going for it. I need a blue. I gave the mice monkey nuts to play with. They're too small to carry them. I'm having to break up all the monkey nuts. That's the outdoor mice. I don't have any indoors, sadly. I mean, I have monkey nuts indoors, but I don't have any mice indoors. Mum does not appreciate mice indoors. I do, she don't. Why can't lifeboats be boat shaped? Why do they have to be so awkwardly shaped? Well, yeah, I know, so that they can reach over the side and grab people, but it's still jolly awkward. Oh, that bit goes up, that bit goes down. Oh, I've got the radar to put in. That bit goes out. That bit goes in. It's like the Okie Kokie on steroids. Then out. Then up. Right. Considering I've done a few drawings of this lifeboat, I'm surprised I don't feel more comfortable with drawing it. But it's just a weird shape. And even trying to break it down into like blocks of colour is really hard. Then it goes down, up and round. It's been a bane of my day, this lifeboat. Right. I'll put some detail in over here. Hopefully this is a T3 and T4. Trying to get a certain amount of detail into this pole. Pigeons panicking everywhere. I need a slightly darker grey. I don't want to go anywhere near the N8 or N10 because they're going to be way too strong, though the shadows are quite deep. add something in on this boat. Just need to block in a little bit of shadow because it's been annoying me. Like I said, this is what I mean by when I say I'm going to be bouncing around a drawing. I'm just literally plonking in bits as I see them. Because I'm constantly focusing and refocusing my eyes. Give me 2 seconds, just want to quickly check something. Sorry about that, just quickly checking something. Well, I was trying to work out what the dickens I was going to do. Yeah, you weren't thinking our blonde would roll so well. They do roll exceptionally well. Let's go G20. So this bit I'm literally just going to map in an area where I feel the sea is really lightly, because if I want to bleach it out I can then do so. So that bit comes out. Then there was a load of stuff here, like an iPad-y thing, and that was the green bit. Right. Just incorporate some of that green down into the water itself. I can go over with the blue for the lifeboat if I feel I need to drop the lifeboat any deeper into the water. And then, why do boats have to be so detailed? Why did I pick boats? That bit goes up, comes out, goes down, comes out, goes down and along, so that's there. Yeah, sometimes you literally have to stop and completely reassess what you're doing. But if you want to do a drawing really well, sometimes you have to go slow. I'd rather go slow and take 20-30 hours on an image than go through, rush it and not like the results. Since I'm not working to any tight deadlines, I'm not bothered. A lot of this artwork, yeah, it can take just 5 minutes on the computer, but I feel there's more skill in being able to do it with pens, where if you make a mistake, you've got to think more, than on a computer where you can just click, delete, control, paste, and click and take stuff out and, you know, Photoshop it. Or clone, use a magic wand, all those tools. You can't do that with this. That's why I really do prefer hand-drawn stuff. In fact, I actually can't do computer art because I'll get eye strain too quickly looking at computer screen. So being able to do paperwork is a major big help for me. I think I know where the lifeboat is. So I'm going to try and map in a bit more of the lifeboat. The lifeboat shape is really weird. It goes up, then it drops right down, and then it goes up again and around the back. I'm just trying to think about the lifeboat colour. Don't want to go red. That colour's going to be too bright. I need something on the orange-ish. No, it's not. See, the thing is, I know what colour it is in real life. I know every time I walk past it what colour it is. But because the lighting on the photo is coming from this direction, it's changing the colour. Also, you've got the shadow from the buildings, you've got the light reflection coming up at the side. So the colour of the lifeboat in the photo is the right colour, but not the colour you would see it if you stood next to it. I need a hint of orange, but not enough. Right, let's see. I need hints. Right. Coral. That's why. I really don't use coral that often, so it's not a colour I go to at all. Yeah, that's the one. The lovely thing about Copics, Copics are wonderful things. Their tops are perfect colours for matching many things. This is a really handy thing about their tops, actually matching pretty much nearly the colour inside. Right, I'm feeling a little bit happier. There's a bit of blue tape stuck to that. Oh, what do you know? Sorry. Right, I'm going to use RV42 by the looks of it. But I can bleach it out. If this goes absolutely disastrously, terribly wrong, I can bleach it. I was trying to draw this lifeboat last year, I think it was. I really struggled because of that curve. I just like normal shapes. I need to refine that because I've got a little bit of a problem with that front bit. Actually, if I sort out the darkest bit, now here's me saying don't go dark colours first, and then I'm just doing that. So please ignore me when I say, when I do stuff, always stick with light colours first and build them up. I just want to add a little bit and then blend it out. So basically what my little problem here is that I'm struggling with is I've got multiple blue tones in the same area, so I just want to make sure that I'm clear on where my darkest tones are and where my lightest tones are. But if you're doing a drawing, like I say, please make sure that you kind of start with your lightest colours. It'll make life a lot easier. Just realised I've got a pink line there. Oh, duh. Oh, we'll sort that out in a minute. it's a complete wrong colour, but right now I am literally just mapping in bits. I do not get along with lifeboats. So I know that I've got a piece up here that goes down there. So I spotted that I've made a couple of mistakes. I had a feeling that this wasn't quite going right. So, bit of this I know I can fix quite easily, but another bit I think I'm going to struggle with fixing. Now actually looking at the lines, I can see where it's gone slightly squiff. Right. I'm going to have to use the grey to fix this. Right, if that's the line of the pavement, that's got to go in. It's got to go down, it's got to go along, and then it's got to go down again. That's where the blue line should be. Right, yeah. I put the windows in the wrong place basically. So above the pavement is where the line should be, where the windows should be. Right. Now if I'm very smart, which I'm not, I should be able to push it back enough that I can lose those bits within the shadow and they'll just look like a texture on the boat, yeah? Right, so we're coming back in with this colour. That bit goes up and comes down and comes along for the shadow there. Right. Okay, that's feeling a little bit better. It's because of the light movements and also the shape of the light boat is very weird. Because of the radar and things like that that are on there. This bit goes up at an angle and then there's a whopping great big shadow there. There's an area up here where they stand on. It's like a railing bit. That feels better. That's a better shape. I can ink in with the white and using the pen I can put in the detail. So I just need to play around with that and get the colours a little bit closer to what I want. Good magical re-inking. I should get that pretty much to the colours that I want. This is where if you make a mistake, you sit back, have a think about it, think about how you made the mistake, and you can often find a way to unmake that mistake. The lifeboat window, they go on the corners, they go round in a really, really cool way. There we go. I should need to extend that a little bit. Why did I decide to have one of the more detailed things in the background, eh? I should have done it from the lifeboat side. So the pesky lifeboat is put in there. Like I say, I'll come back and play around with that. So that means that I can get this green sorted out. Now that pink bit, it won't be there for long. Bye bye pink bit. Give that a few seconds to dry. Dry. That lifeboat has been bugging me no end. So I was well chuffed that I figured it out. Sometimes these things take time. Dig through the pens. I've just got a map in this bit. This area is a lot of darker colours. There's not really any lights in this area, it's more blocks of shadow. So I can go quite a lot of dark greens with this and then blend them back. As you can see, by just using the side of the brush, I've got my straight line there. That's where I can bring the boat down to. Normally when I'm doing any artwork, I do tend to listen to dramatic music like Audio Machine or Two Steps from Hell. When I'm doing live streams, I don't because of copyright reasons. I just not want to get hit by a copyright. But yeah, definitely find the music that you enjoy the most and you will feel inspired by. I also like quite like the Trailerhead music and Hans Zimmer, that kind of stuff, because I can let my imagination run free, especially when doing fantasy drawings. I need to have a green. Where's it gone? Right, we can move that over here now. So hopefully you can start to see as the areas of white get smaller, how the drawing starts to change. I mean, I've done, what we're an hour 30 into this. I'm plodding along quite contently. Plodding along. Plod. And I'm starting to add in small areas of detail, just as I get comfortable with. So when I'm faced with a big white canvas, it's all kind of, don't know where to start. But once you start to reduce that amount, then you will feel more confident. Right now I know I'm feeling a bit more confident with what I'm doing because I've got that nightmare of a light boat underway. The boat's all back here. I can just colour spot in, and then what I can do is come through with the pens, these ones that I use. I don't use a brush for it. With the archival ink, I'll probably use a 0.05 nib and a 0.1 nib, and then I can pick out key detail, add on the white ink as well, and that'll be it. But that's a pretty far off way right now. But I don't want to get too confident or over cocky or anything, because that's when you make big mistakes. Since I've just got through a load, I don't want to make any more. I'm gonna add some vivid in there. Just adding this kind of really bright blue just to make the bit of the lifeboat stand out a little bit. So it's got a bit different saturation to the darkness. No, there's something. Right, the reason I'm hesitating before I put this pen down is I'm looking at the nib, and when I used this it felt too juicy. Now I have unblocked it, well, I've released the pressure from the other end, but I'm going to hesitate on that one. I think that's actually too juicy. I'm going to hold fire on that. Last time I used a pen that was too juicy, it kind of went psh, and it was this flood, whoosh, and the drawing involved was swept away in it. And I couldn't even recover that drawing. It was of a knight on a horse. And I was so happy with it, and then the pen just went whoosh. And that was all because I didn't release the pressure at the other end. My own fault. So I am very, very cautious when doing that sort of thing. There's a Posca. I've got all different sizes and shapes on my Poscas. I've got the chunky ones through to the fine lines. The medium nibs are much more white than the thin nibs. But for things like the lines in the water, the thin nib, where it's less strong, is absolutely perfect. I don't want crisp lines in this bit. I'm happy to have them muted. When it comes up here, yes, I'm going to need crisp lines. Plodding along. A bit oomphier. Light green, green it is obscene if you can't find your green. Just adding the green that I'm going to use to blend out a lot of the harsh lines. There's a little bit of blue down here, so I think I need to make this a bit wider. Just doesn't quite feel right. When you step back and look at a drawing, definitely turn it around, look at it upside down, try and look at it from different angles, and you will see when things don't quite look right, because they will literally stick out like a sore thumb. I've got nearly the orange that I'm after over there, but I've still got to push the tonal ranges. Now I was going to head over here. Yeah, I thought I got that slightly wrong. That's cool, it's fixable. And yeah, I am making mistakes on this drawing. Doesn't mean that I'm no good at it, it just means I'm learning. So then, oh, I don't really know what colour that one is. Tell me, sorry, I just need to. Emerald green dark. Emerald green dark. Yeah, that will do. Start with the light colour and build it up. And a really rather important thing, even when working with Copics, make sure you've got a window open and you've got air circulating. It's just for your safety at the end of the day. It's not good for your health to breathe in anything that is alien or man-made in a sense. So yeah, always have a window open and make sure you've got air circulating. Sorry guys, my left eye is playing up. Basically my tear ducts get really blocked and dry. So then when they get rid of all the junk out of themselves, when they kind of push all the dust and muck out, what comes afterwards is literally just like pure salt. So I get a very, very sore eye. Ooh. Ay caramba. Come on the lefty. Because I have to kind of massage the tear duct to just get rid of all the muck. Ooh. That hurts. There we go. I think that's clear. There's still something in there, but I'm sure it'll wiggle its way out eventually. Normally, when I get that feeling in my tear ducts and my eyes start to play up, I know that I've spent too long on a drawing, and that's my kind of warning sign that I need to quit or take a break, go and wash my eyes out, and then think about coming back to it. So I'm gonna finish off this little bit here, and then I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. So I'm gonna have to go and wash my eyes, put them in a bowl of water. Ooh. I think I've got some eye drops somewhere around the house. But I don't idealistically like using eye drops. I prefer just to use warm water. So I just want to make that a little bit darker. Yeah, if when you're doing drawing, your eyes start to feel itchy, sore, or anything like that, take a break, because they're probably worn out. I mean, I'm working to this very fierce, jolly hot small daylight lamp, and that dries your eyes out pretty quickly. Haven't really got room for a large lamp thingy. Right, let's see. So that bit is around that, and there's a really weird pink in there. That's one I'm gonna have to work out. And then there's like a blue box somewhere up here. That's a different blue. I've got to push that blue out, and I need to get the wall put in. Right. There's that. Oh, so I think due to the fact my eyes are playing up, well, it was just my left, now my right's joining in. That's my body saying enough's enough, time to take a break, have a cup of tea, have a Kit Kat, and take a rest from the drawing, the light, all of that. Because health and safety and feeling good comes first. If I don't feel good, then I'm not going to do a good job on drawing. Right, so as you can see, progressed a bit, got the light boat in, done a bit more to the houses, got some layers down on there, lots more detail to add in onto that area. Oh jeez, I hate my eyeballs. When this happens at work, it's an absolute nightmare because I get bread dust in them. I started to sort out some of the detail onto the boats. I was just getting those base layers down, so there's still a lot of work to do here. But as that white bit is vanishing, more of the image is recognisable, so it's looking more like the image that I'm looking for. So I hope this has helped inspire you to go and get a pencil, a pen and some paper and have a go, have some fun and try something completely new and different. So thank you very much to everybody who's popped along and watched. Your support always means a lot, and I mean it. It really does mean a lot for me. So until next time, take care everybody, all the best and happy drawing to you all.